There are knives that get popular only because some influencer on YouTube or TikTok said that they're cool. And then there are knives that are only popular because they look tactical, or they come in a cool box, or they have a name that sounds like military equipment. And then there are knives like the Buck 119 Special. And this knife doesn't need hype. It's been around longer than most of these influencer reviewers of knives have been alive. And it continues to do what it does best. It works. So this isn't gonna be a review. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you like this is some new knife I discovered that you just gotta know about. Instead, this is a tribute to one of the most recognized and practical knives ever made in America. And even though I don't carry a fixed blade every day, I've got a huge amount of respect for it. The story of the Buck 19 goes back to the 1940s. That alone should tell you something. Just think about how much has changed since then. Cars have changed, houses have changed, steel has changed, people have changed, but the Buck 119 Special has not changed. Because sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Entire industries came and went. Buck itself has an even longer history. Hoyt Buck started making knives in the early 1900s, and the company became one of the biggest known names in knife history. Most people associate Buck with the 110 folder, for a damn good reason I might add. I did a whole video on the 110 you gotta go check out. But if Buck is the king of folding knives, then I think this 119 deserves a similar position, but in the place for fixed blades. I mean, look at the damn thing. You don't need a logo to know what it is. The long clip point blade, the handle, the guard and pommel. That's an unmistakable profile. It looks like something someone would draw if you told them to draw a badass knife. And the thing that I love is it doesn't try to be tactical. It's not necessarily going to be carried on the belt of a Navy SEAL. There are no unnecessary serrations on it. No fishing kit in the handle. No rails, no glass breaker, no gimmicks. It's a knife. A roughly 6-inch blade with a nice, comfy handle that was made to work. There's something refreshing about that. It reminds me of a time when Americans manufactured things and we did it well. And when made in the USA meant something. And companies took pride in their craftsmanship. Modern gear sometimes gets a little ridiculous. Marketers know to use words like tactical and operator and survival. Meanwhile, the Buck 119 looks almost elegant, but don't mistake that for fragile. Because as I said, this knife was designed to work. It uses Buck's classic 420 steel, and I know you knife guys can argue about steel all day long. They'll tell you you need some kind of super steel until the sun burns out. But 420HC actually makes sense for a knife like this. Buck has been heat treating this steel for decades. It holds an edge pretty decently, it's corrosion resistant, and best of all, you don't need special equipment to sharpen the damn thing. It's a work knife. Because you gotta think, the only thing to consider is not just will it hold an edge, it's what happens when the edge does wear out. Will I be able to sharpen it again? And I think that's something that can get overlooked. Can I bring the edge back? And with the Buck 119, the answer is yes. You've got a nice ergonomic knife that gives you a surprising amount of control for a knife of its size. Now, obviously this was built with hunters in mind, but I think people from all walks of life can find practical use of the Buck 119. I mean, the practical uses are endless. Fishing, camping, cutting rope, hunting, construction, general chores, bushcraft, you name it. It's not some giant machete pretending to be a knife. And it's not a little tiny ass Mora blade pretending it can do everything. It's right in the proper territory where it's practical, useful, and it's not going to be in your way. And there's just something I respect about an old school fixed blade. A folder is convenient. I love folding knives. But mechanically, a fixed blade is just superior. There's no moving mechanisms, there's no lock to fail. Just a full ting and a nice handle. You pull the knife out of the sheath and it's ready. And that's it. Simplicity matters when you're talking about equipment that you're actually going to depend on. And that's one of the reasons that fixed blades have always had a place in the hearts of hunters and outdoorsmen all over. And the Buck 119 is the epitome of that kind of knife and that tradition. It's the knife your grandfather would recognize. And I think that's really where the knife gets me. Because there are certain pieces of equipment that connected generations. A Zippo lighter, a cast iron skillet, a revolver or lever action rifle, double barrel shotgun, and the Buck 119 fixed blade. You can hand it to someone who's 80 years old and they're immediately going to know what they're looking at. And you can hand that same knife to a 20-year-old who's never seen it and he'll make it work. Your father could have carried one. You can carry one. And if you do, there's a good chance that years later, your kid will carry one. That's becoming rare. We live in a world full of fucking sissies that don't know how to fix anything. And when something breaks, we throw it away. A new version comes out and suddenly this one's not new enough. You know, knives are not immune to that kind of foolishness. Every year, there's a new brand, a new type of steel. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I mean, some of those are genuinely good knives, but that doesn't mean they replace what's been working for decades. And I'm not saying that this is the perfect knife. What I am saying is that it's close enough to perfect that we're still using it today. And I don't think any knife is perfect. If I were looking for a dedicated survival knife, there are other knives I'd probably look at before this. And if I was chopping wood, I'd rather have an axe. If I want something small for everyday chores, I'll carry my Buck 110 folder. That's part of respecting your equipment, is understanding that each tool has its own specific job. And that's not an insult to any knife, including the Buck 119. The Buck 119 is a hunting outdoor knife. And it happens to be a damn good one. I mean, if I was stranded somewhere and I found one on my belt, I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd sure trust it before I trust some gas station looking fucking new edge folding knife. Or some hollow-handled Rambo knife. And I don't have to carry this knife every day to appreciate it. That's the whole point of the video. But I respect this knife because it represents something that we're losing. Simple equipment. Proven equipment. Equipment designed to do the damn job instead of just impress or look cool in a display. It's not perfect. It's not indestructible, but it's enough. And sometimes enough is enough. So, if you've appreciated this video, please like and subscribe and stay sharp.